Utopian Ray, Vabu, and Bashi, the pit extraordinaire that we've seen in a few of these brackets in the past. They're on their losers run too. Vabu's going to have to deal with that, but here we go with a little bit of winners final action. We're getting into the Belmonts versus Minecraft Steve, a monster unlike any Belmont has seen before. Just a little bit more different in terms of aesthetics, but oh my gosh, not a whole lot in terms of fierceness.
Definitely going back a few generations for this one, saying no school like the old school, my friend, against probably one of the most new school characters in this game, if we're being completely honest. I don't know if that's why he switched or what have you. The only real mechanical difference between Simon and Richter is that, the holy water being red for Simon instead does affect certain elemental properties, specifically against really Pinkman, against a character like Olimar. That's really one of the only things that really affects, so it's really sort of just another Peach and Daisy situation, if you would. Other than that, they're pretty much exactly the same as the stankiest DI I've ever seen in my days is going to take out his first stock right there. Bro, you might want to get some Old Spice or something, stop at your local CVS for those pits or something like that, because that was just smelly. Oh my god. Wow.
Yeah, that was a little rank, but it's nothing that Wildcard is complaining about all that much. They're sitting in a great position against, definitely this is a mode. Wi-Fi rewards range. It rewards projectile play. It rewards, I'm not going to call it non-interactivity, though it definitely could reward that as well. It's not non-interactivity, to be completely honest. They're getting in when they can, but they're picking their spots, and it's efficiency with their approaches. And you got to love what you're seeing in that regard. It's definitely smart. And, they're just not having as many chances to do it as perhaps they could. As the boomerang cross comes through, you got to love that if you're wild card. But if you're I could definitely see the frustration mounting just a little bit.
It's somewhat of what is a potential true stigma, Stu, if you will, as the back air doesn't even take the stock yet. That characters who are considered, what's the word I'm looking for here? Stereotypically campy, when they're the ones who have to, face off against each other. Sometimes be some of the most aggressive gameplay you'll really see. We got a Simon and a Steve out here. These guys are both really swinging for the fences right now. You see Wildcard just sort of back airing in the face of all right here, trying to break that defensive zone right now. And just as I say that, a little bit of a commentator's curse, my man putting up a wall and just hanging back to get some of those materials, recognizing that the maximum material he has right now is only gold. He's going to want to be digging for that diamond, as he is still trying to do right now. He's got that diamond pickaxe, but the second he loses it, he's going to be stuck with the gold. 41% though, easy percentage off the block with the hold A combo, my friends. The most technical input that this commentator has ever seen in his life, but that's all needs, my friends. Get that 41%, won't stop him from dying off the top to up B.
Yeah, I'm surprised you could call out any inputs other than strings of up airs, Mario Main. Anyway, we're going to...
Yeah, but I hit the button multiple times.
Oh, okay. You know what? Now that...
Major difference.
We'll have a talk about that. But either way, no, we probably won't if we're being completely honest with you.
You can if you want, but yes, anyway.
No, and I don't want to. So anyway, shields the holy water. Ed sends it right off of the stage. Trying to send Wildcard off of the stage as well. That's probably more towards the point, isn't it? And yeah, that beautiful call out on the movement there. Wildcard trying to get a little cute and avoid all the things that was setting up on the right. Well, that's why Wildcard got sent to the left by that minecart.
Yeah, it's really funny. Immediately after that, you saw Wildcard try to keep the pressure on by throwing the cross, but every single time he throws one, I don't know if you noticed, I'll just put these blocks down and it bounces immediately off of it. But that's not going to stop him from lobbing these projectiles right now and stopping, at least for a moment, from mining those materials. It's something that's not going to be as effective of a strategy against a character like a Belmont. They got not only that range, but projectiles that send at all varying types of angles. He's got the holy water that sends at the downward 45. He's got the whip that'll just take out your kneecaps of Steve right there, sending him off to the blast zone. He's got the cross that sends straight away. He's got the axe that sends at that beautiful reverse U angle as well. He's just got projectiles that send at all types of angles, so it literally doesn't matter all the time. for all to be able to put up those walls. Like, he'll be able to get some material, but not as much as he would be able to get against a character like, I don't know, like Wario, Lucas, or something like that.
Yeah, and that's a rough one if you're because you feel like you can't even really point to a spot where you're like, oh yeah, I really could have taken control of the game there. Wildcard was very consistent throughout, and that's the most frustrating type of Belmont that you're ever going to go up against. Where, I mean, Wildcard just kind of slowly and steadily pulled away, and there you go. That was the bounce off of the block, your own block from the Holy Water to keep you in that. You couldn't SDI out or anything, and right into the F smash, into the knees, as you mentioned. That's a 1-0 advantage for Wildcard. Does have a little bit of room to breathe. This is best of 5 after all, but they're going to need to be smart with their stage counter pick here, and indeed we are going to go. I would imagine somewhere else. Indeed, the destination is going to be Town and City for game number 2.
You know, interesting pick. Definitely, you know, focusing more on the stage pick rather than those material grindings as well, as a beautiful combo right there, putting the block down to ensure he can finish the combo with that up smash. We're 10 seconds in. This, oh my god, already at 90 as a wild card right now. My man's coming out the gate right now, using those platforms to be able to stay up top to his advantage, my friend. I don't even care if I'm only going to be getting wood from this stage right now, my friend. The layout is all that matters to me. I'm a Smash player. I'm here to take you down, my friend. Beautiful. It's a beautiful plays coming out from so far.
And a pretty decent song as well. You gotta respect the Go KK Rider, but we're going
unfortunately.
To see, what did has Juice rocked you in friendlies in this too?
No. Me being a commentator for this game for 6 years and listening to this song over and over and over and over and over again for 6 years has rocked me, Stu. That's what's rocked me, okay?
I've never not seen Juice make the comeback to the song. That's all I'm saying. But
yeah, you should put it on his Spotify. Just listen to it in bracket, even if he's not on Town and City. You should just do it. Yeah, ain't no Juice.
Makes you wonder. Honestly, that's I think we might have just unlocked the PGR run for Juice. That's nuts. But
yeah, just be prepared for that top 20 spot. Like, none of y'all prepared for it, but you're gonna see it.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that's gonna be wild. Either way, I hope Juice is good, man. Either way, Wildcard gonna try to get back on in the winning foot here. With a slight advantage in this game, number 1, and the jab. Yeah, this is what they were looking for this entire time. That game number 1, they're gonna call out the roll and swing that diamond sword. That's going to be good for the second stock of this one in Tunis.
God, Steven Universe, more like Steven Town and City. This guy's up 3 stocks to 1. 2 stocks to 1. Never mind. Commentator's curse for you. There's one of the second ones of the night. That was beautiful all around, man. You had the Steve bread and butter combos, the jab to forward air, spike resets over and over again. And even when he didn't get the last one, he was able to put that wood block down to try to gimp Wildcard's recovery. And then even when that didn't work, he was still prepared for the potential get-up option and decided to just wait back and charge for the forward smash because he knew the risk reward was very much worth it in his favor right there. The aggressive, like, what am I trying to say here? The aggressive wall onslaught on the part of right now. Are
you serious?
Yo, that's a clip. I want to see that on Twitter.com right now. If you're watching it on Twitter.com, hello, it's good to see you. My man just put a minecart in between 2 blocks. Let's take a look at this again.
Yeah, let's do that.
It's in the hole! I don't date golfers. Sorry. Oh my god. And he's wearing the sports gear too. Like, I mean, I know it's a tennis outfit, but still. Oh my god.
Yeah, let's just go. Oh my god, that is a tight gap, dude.
How are you that big brained? How can a man be?
That took an engineering degree. Like, you know it did. Like, that was my man's went to Texas A&M just for that.
Oh.
Like, I don't even know what to tell you, man.
I'm sure there's a whole minor in, putting mine carts like through 2 vertical blocks. There's probably like at least a class at Texas A&M, probably Caltech as well, something like that.
Fun fact, there is actually a Colorado School of Mines.
Oh, wow. That's not surprising, but that's really cool.
Yeah, it's kind of like their A&M or whatever, and supposedly it's cool. So
Colorado A&M. Very sick. I love to hear that. Colorado, great state. I've never been, but I would love to see the mountains one day.
I live there. Shout outs to Denver, but
it's,
yeah, no, good place and good people. But either way, yeah, Final Destination, also good place. It's better for some than others, but nevertheless, getting taken back here, and they're going to have to figure out a way to make this work. Now, the question is, what can they do to improve on their performance from game number 1, in your opinion?
My humble opinion. Well, he could do that. He could do that to start off. I mean, the beauty of being a Smash commentator is that it's my job to sell the player, and sometimes the player just sells themselves instead before I can even say anything or respond to questions on how they're going to enact counterplay, because you saw Wildcard do it for you right there. You put that holy water out, kept him by the ledge, the classic. The problem is that, those blocks were really starting to bug him in that last game. I feel like that all that space, completely contrary to what I thought in earlier matchups, at the very least when Wildcard played against Mabu back in winter semis, I feel like too much space in a matchup like this would actually not be good for Simon. I feel like, being able to, okay, just plant out all those blocks. We're just going to move past that. Forward air going to take the stock. Him just being able to plant all those blocks and just create all that space, that's just going to create more mass and more time for him to be able to get those materials that he needs. It doesn't matter if the Holy Water to forward smash again. This is the counterplay that you're seeing from Wildcard. He can do that, Stu, on any stage. It doesn't matter the size. So when the stage is bigger, Oz just going to have way more room to be able to farm those materials and create more wacky block traps. Here on a stage like Final Destination, he has more of a chance of getting overwhelmed by Simon's projectiles than he would on a big stage that he has more space to be able to move around. And as a result, you're seeing a lot more of these like Holy Water edge guards because he just got way more... Wildcard just has way more opportunities in neutral to be able to set it up. So I think, in terms of his counterplay, I think he can afford to be playing at least a little more aggressive on a stage like this because he has the space to be able to do so, and he doesn't have any platforms or anything to be able to worry about camping under, creating a wall in front of him to be able to get those materials either. So, if anything, Stu, I think the proof is in the counterplay.
Yeah, but it's...
I mean, not the counter pick, the stage, you know what I mean.
Is going to need to prove something here. They're on their last stock at the accursed percentage, and they're going to get popped right on up, but not out. Gonna get the minecart dropped on him. Whoa, Wildcard needs this edge guard here. They can't afford to give it up, but they're not going to get the up smash. They will get back thrown for their troubles, and indeed, Boomerang Cross is going to dictate where they go. This is going to be a regrab. Wildcard might be looking... Oh, never mind. Goes ahead and switches sides. Eventually goes for the regrab and does get the stock that way, but not before suffering quite a bit of damage. They're just begging for a diamond here. Gets a lot of redstone for a potential earlier kill than perhaps Wildcard would like. That is a small shield. Oh my gosh. I mean, it's not just the resources underground that are getting burned through pretty fast.
Absolutely not, my friend. Absolutely not. And you see, even when Oz putting up these walls, those projectiles just go around at any sorts of angles to be able to just completely get around any sort of mine camping right there. And once again, Holy Water by the ledge, it's going to be able to do it. This time, not with a forward smash, but with a forward air, which, as I'm sure you all know, he can angle in 3 different directions in the air. Beautiful stuff coming out from Wildcard right now, who is up 2-1 in this set so far. This is best of 5 territory, so we're not done yet. And you see, that didn't count as a regrab because he put the block down earlier on. He technically touched, ground beforehand, and as a result, this character can actually sort of like melee, like ledge stall if he's willing to do it. And there you go, Steve just not giving a damn right there, jumping down with it. He's got the recovery to be able to make it back, so he knows it doesn't matter. That's a regrab, though. No block to be able to put down below him that time. Unfortunately for him, he jumped right out of bounds. Right out of bounds to the part where he wouldn't be able to create a block. That is the one thing that I'm sure you all remember Sakurai talking about in the Minecraft Steve Direct, that he ensured that Steve would not be able to do. Otherwise, he'd be able to camp from literally anywhere. He'd be able to put himself in the blast zone if he wanted to, put a couple blocks down, go back to the ledge, jump back out, put some more blocks down, and ensure that's not a regrab on the way back out. Sakurai immediately saw the cheapness in that sort of strategy, and as a result, if you are a Steve player, you cannot put a block literally anywhere on the stage. In most parts of it, you can, but there is a little bit of a boundary. And once you are out of that boundary, you cannot put a block down anymore. And unfortunately for him, he put the block down in that boundary, and he wasn't able to get that ledge. He wasn't able to get that legend vulnerability back because of it. And if you don't have your legend vulnerability against Simon, you die. That's how it works.
More or less, yeah. But now that we're looking at both of these individuals leaving the arena, I can't imagine that is going to want to go back to Final Destination. Just did not have a whole lot of success there. I don't know if we're going back to TNC either. Perhaps Wildcard trying to be a little bit more proactive about that. But yeah, this is a game number 4. It is going to be crucial that is on point, both in-game and out. And indeed, we are going to take it to the battlefield for game number 4. A smaller stage, perhaps. Going to try to get a little bit up close and personal here. That running jab did find a lot of success on the ledges, especially on TNC. So why not shorten the stage, Nintunas?
Why not shorten the stage indeed? Create a little bit less space on that front, you know? It's just an interesting thing to say the least. I mean, I imagine that he probably wants a little more space on the lower echelon of the stage itself. He's trying to play the meat right now, just sort of swinging that sword and that pickaxe around, and the axe as well, over and over and over again. But now, because of these platforms, it's a little different. He sort of has an extra no-fly zone, if you would, for him to be able to set up against Wildcard. It's not the same. It's not completely the same as he, was sort of trapping against Hero before. Because Hero, doesn't have an axe or projectiles that go through the platforms like Simon does. So it's not as effective as it would be against that other kind of character, but at the very least, he's got a little more space to be able to deal with that kind of situation. Bouncing off the block and the back air and keeping him by the ledge. Brilliant. Brilliant play.
So, has taken a few of these Tri-State tournaments before. I mean, the former winner of Xeno Wi-Fi, very recently in the top 3 of Fusion.EXE, had a win on Nikolai and indeed on Supergirl Kels in that very set.
Oh yeah,
in that very tournament. Excuse me. Yeah, and the list of names definitely very impressive. But right now they're going to have to try to add Wildcard to that list, and certainly can't afford to sleep on him if those past 3 games were any indication. Certainly. Not in this situation as well, where they do take the first stock, but they're in very real danger of losing it quickly. They need all the extra credit they can get. That grab was crucial, reading that roll get up, and I got to think it's all about positioning here. Certainly not running forward into that up smash. F smash, excuse me. My gosh. I saw and I just immediately said up. That's how that works sometimes, but how it doesn't work is running into the whip.
Mm-hmm. It's really interesting. One thing I feel like I'm taking away from this is that Uz like setting up these walls a lot, just sort of hiding under the platform so we can just create like these like little safe spaces for him to mine in. But, that's the thing that's, sort of bad for on that front is that he's just getting stuffed out by the axe on that front because despite the platforms being there, the axe goes through the platforms. Like, Wildcard doesn't care about, like, that scenario at all. He's just going to hang back, chuck an axe, potentially even kill up for it if he's at higher percentage. So one of the things I'm sort of thinking about for all right here is that do you think it'd be better for him if he's by the corner to only put one block down? To only put one block down in front of him to mine, and as a result, he'd be able to just react to the axe in the same way he was before, but then now Wildcard wouldn't be able to throw the cross since it would just bounce off the block in front of him? That's one of the things that I'm thinking about here. I feel like 2 blocks might not even really be truly necessary for him right now, and might be something that could potentially throw Wildcard off a little bit and create just as safe of a space for him without using as many materials, but Wildcard just doesn't even care about any of that either. I'll just whip through the walls, literally. I mean, it's dirt, so it was the weakest one, which does come out first. It's you get the stronger materials first for your weapons if you're Steve, and then the weaker ones first for the blocks. And as a result, he's going to be able to just like forward smash right through that, easy peasy. And it's still now he's still up in percentage because of it as well. Forward throw probably going to do it here, considering that this is a Simon. Yeah, not going to be able to make it back at that percent, and now we are down to the final stock of game number 4. Wildcard 1 away from making it to grand finals.
Yeah, but that 45%, perhaps it could have been worse for you still did not want to give that up. And Wildcard knows what the win condition here is. They're going to stay on that platform, try to throw out a projectile and see what hits. And again, why approach if you don't have to? You know that the onus right now is on So yeah, I think if you're a wild card, you're generally pretty cool with this. You're piling on that damage slowly but surely. You have 2 minutes to work with. A little over that, if we're being completely honest. But yeah, now it's and see what happens when you try to get up in Uz's face. That's not what you wanted, and now all of a sudden you're down. It's not like you were going to camp him out for 2 minutes. I understand, but at the same time, I think you want trying to get in more than you want to be doing the inverse.
It was really ballsy upbeat by Wildcard too. You know, you saw going for sort of the similar setup that you saw before, putting the block down and then breaking the block with the hitbox of the anvil, so we can then immediately cancel that into another aerial. And we're going to potentially see him do that again in game number 5, Stu. We're going to game 5, winners finals, baby.
Yeah, and this is where it starts getting interesting because does wind up bringing it back, though. It was getting a little sketchy there at the end. Does survive the test from Wildcard, and yeah, you saw the minecart getting that kill there, and I believe this was where Wildcard makes the comeback. Yeah, you got caught trying to press a button. Wildcard is there to take full advantage. You get the feeling that they had that one mapped out relatively well. Then the holy water, as you know, Wildcard, or excuse me, as breaks out the table. It's all well and good. Edge guard there, keep him away, put the Fear of God on him with the Anvil for the second stock on that front for Wildcard, but for And yeah, that's generally how you want to be finishing it, but you wanted a lot of those stocks a lot earlier. If you're you wanted to be just a little bit more efficient. Maybe you're not cheesing stocks as much as you would like. If you're Steve, it's not like us playing a bad game fundamentally. But then you kind of wonder, what are they expanding upon with Steve specifically that they can do to really make a Belmont's life hell? And that's kind of what I wonder, because you're going to have to put the pressure on Wildcard and really test their experience as a Belmont. I feel like Steve has the tools to do that. I don't see utilizing those to the nth degree right now.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with that. I mean, Steve, one of the things that makes him such a menace to society is that he not only is amazing at camping you out and, getting the materials that he needs by putting up the walls and just, mining on any given stage, but the guy's got B&Bs, my friend. Bed and breakfasts. And Build-A-Bear combos for days. He walks in, he holds the green button at you with the axe.
Bread and butters, yeah, absolutely.
I don't know why I couldn't think of bread and butters.
It's all good, man.
The point is bed and breakfast.
Bread and breakfast.
That's what I said.
Oh, man. There are no bed and breakfasts in Minecraft world.
No, not at all.
There is bereft of hospitality. What are we going to do? This is Final Destination Game 5, and this is exactly where Wildcard won their 2 games in this set. And again, you have to wonder if has the download here, because they do have the damage advantage, but it's not like we haven't seen people drop advantages to Wildcard even at this point tonight.
Yeah, I mean, he's picking the stage that he was losing on. So you know that there has to have been some download here, or some sort of download or just adaptation on the part of to get that confidence boost to come back to a stage that, Wildcard very much thinks is better for him on this front. I wouldn't imagine that he's probably happy coming back to the stage, Holy Water to the forward smash, gonna do it right there. But yeah, I mean, the scary thing about Steve is that, he's got the potential to set up these walls and, get the materials like he needs, but he's also a monster up close. He literally, like as we talked about earlier, he can just hold down the button and just start spamming that up tilt at you, or even the jab, which is technically also his forward tilt as well, over and over and over again at you to keep that hitbox going, which can be safe on block, depending on the character you're playing. And then what are you going to do in that scenario? You're going to drop your shield, and then you're going to get hit over and over and over again by it, and you'll take a guaranteed 50 because it's literally a true combo. It's a wild thing, my friend. So I agree. Getting in
What
the
a parry.
Simon is like a really, really important thing, because he's a distance demon. If you overwhelm the character up close, that is where he definitely suffers. As you can see right there, getting up close with the forward smash, going to do it for on that second stock. And before, like you mentioned, Stu, in the observation that you observed, he wasn't really doing that before, but now you sort of see him mixing it up a little bit more. You're starting to see, it's just sort of build materials a little bit, but instead of setting up a whole wall and just continuously building materials or mining for materials, he'll do it a little bit, and then he'll mix it up and just immediately run back in to try to hit wildcard again, rather than just stay there like he was before. Getting that legend vulnerability back with the block again, finding his way off the level because he didn't want to stay on the ledge against Simon, and narrowly finally makes his way out. That was beautiful patience in a very scary situation for but he persevered, Stu.
Yeah. Right now, I mean, trying to prove that they're better than a third place finish. They've gotten third at a few tournaments and did really well in a lot of them. I mean, just last week it's Wi-Fi beating WebJP, PokeLam, and Nick C, only going down the John Numbers and Sinji. But again, what do we know about them in Tunis? They like to play back. They like to let the action come to them, is a way to describe their play. And that's kind of what Wildcard is doing. Can be frustrated into making these sorts of mistakes, such as that, and Wildcard with a huge advantage as is going to fight one last stock to give, and they cannot afford to cash in their chips in third place yet again.
You hate to see that.
Oh, wait! All of a sudden, we were talking about that Steve Cheeseman We were talking about it. We spoke it into existence.
Hey, man, I'm no stranger to run off forward air, so, I see one, I press like. I see when I press like, my friend. Wild stuff, especially off of that SD. You saw playing, sort of holding back a little bit more, like Sinji and John Numbers, but just, as you mentioned before, potentially why he lost to them at the recent Xeno Wi-Fi, or the recent Xeno Wi-Fi monthly, I should say. But then immediately retaliating back with an off-brand option like that, just run off stage with the forward air, which, as we all know, does spike. And the weak hitbox is very strong as well. We are down to the final stock. The final stock of Winners Final, ladies and gentlemen! Oh my god!
Oh my gosh.
He's spending a little too much time off the level, and my man Wildcard will take all that stage control. He's saying, you want to give me free stage control? I will take that, my friend. I'm Simon Belmont, my boy. I will just chuck these projectiles until one of them hits you. That's all I'm going to do. I want to spend that time off the level to make it easier for me. I will go ahead and do that, but, at the same time, it was working before. It's just, might be doing it a little too much.
Oh, air dodges right to the opposite side. Wildcard was in the middle of a button, and yeah, Simon Belmont's buttons are nothing if not committal. Waiting for their opportunity, though, is, they're getting, they need to mine everything. They have themselves a diamond. Not sure if they're going to be able to utilize it, though. Wildcard, again, playing the ledge trapping game to full effect. Does wind up with a button in the face of Wildcard. They're going to get something with the diamonds, actually, and all of a sudden, this is swung so severely in the favor of, but they're not going to make it back to the ledge. That is tragic. They opened up the door for Wildcard so many times, and it was just one too many at the very end. Wildcard pulling them all out of the deck, and they wind up getting flushed 3-2 as the Belmonts are going to find their way into grand finals of DNA.EXE yet again.
Wow. I was just thinking to myself that whole time, being the professional commentator that I am, instead of analyzing it, and I was instead thinking about memes, and I was just going to say to myself, if won again, that he can't keep getting away with it. but he didn't get away with it. Breaking Bad ended. He stopped getting away with it at some point. My God, you hate to see a set end like that. 2 SDs in that final game, and he still brought it down to last stock. Man, where are we going?
I mean, we're going down into losers semifinals after this one. You would assume, but yeah, doing their fellow Belmont brethren, Dark Falcon, proud, a Richter main who's actually finished 3rd in a very recent iteration of DNA.EXE, less than a month ago. Dark Falcon taking out names like Seabass and Doom in that one, and certainly a pretty similar path being walked by this Belmont here wild card. Though it's a Simon this time, and they're on grand finals winner's side. But certainly DNA.EXE being brought to you by Master Hand Gaming.